December 26, 2018, I made a video on this thing in front of me over here, and when I made the video, I also had the Christmas texture for the chests back then. But yeah, this was my super ultimate shopping thing that I made, and it was basically Amazon in Minecraft. Now that may sound familiar, but I'll get onto that later. You put your item in the chest, you get your key back in the ground with the nice little jingle, and you also get a shulker box with whatever item you want in it, and you can store stuff and break it. You can also put it back if you wanted to, and you can push the button. And yeah, the redstone was pretty small. Well, I thought it was pretty small for what it did. It could also be expanded, but it is really slow. Like, you have to wait all of this until it can go. There we go. It's finally done. So yeah, this thing was slow, and I have a video explaining on exactly how it works, what it does, in the description. I'll just put that. It has like no views. But then, a couple months later, this happens.
For those of you who are fans of the Hermitcraft series, you will know that we are currently in the process of setting up a mega store called Sahara.
And now I'm shooketh. Like, bruh, how could Mumbo steal my idea? Like, how could he? I made a freaking Sahara shop thing first, and then he made his own. I'm so sad. So guess what I did? He was gonna make a hermit coin system, and then I made a hermit coin system. Maybe I'll show bits of the video as I'm talking. And guess what? He completely forgets that project exists. So I'm like, you know what? It's time to make a Sahara, but small, because his is ridiculously big and overcomplicated. So yeah, let's go look at that now. So this is my mini Sahara shop, and as you can see, it is a lot smaller than the one on Hermitcraft. Like, literally, this thing is a fraction of the size. And before you will go all commenting that Mumbo made his own mini version, his version was basically like a downgraded version of the Sahara. Mine is more of a compacted one. It does all the same stuff, but in a smaller space. His kind of has more limited items, and it's not really expandable. But mine, infinitely expandable. You can have as many items, and the space doesn't change, so it's a really cool system. And also, this is based off of Seth Bling's concept. Well, I don't know if it's his concept, but it was inspired by Seth Bling's Minecart item sorter, and that's kind of what I used to make this whole thing work. So let's just see how it works. So we have available items, we have a send back button, add minecart, search items. We have a lot going on. So if we go into our available items, we have a lot of redstone components, and this is what our shop is selling. So if we just take redstone torches and we put it in the search items box, you'll start to see that the minecart chests are going to start cycling, and oh, we got the first one. So this is the chest with all the redstone torches, and our key went over here, so we can put this back in this chest. And if you want to pay for it, you can get your diamonds, and you can do that. I bought my redstone torch. So you have to wait till all the minecarts cycle through. So once you hear no piston noises, that's when you can send it back. So now it's been sent back, and there we go, it's been reset. So let's say you are the shopkeeper and you want to see how much profit you made. So you go into your diamond, you just put a diamond in the search items, and then, oh god, okay, we're getting some lag. You'll get whatever chest has a diamond, and then you can collect your profits, and you can refill the system just like that. And we'll wait till the minecart cycle through. Eventually, okay, it seemed to have stopped. Okay, now we can send it back, and it will go back into the system. You can also have minecart chests with multiple items. So if we just go in here and we take out comparators, and we put it in the search items box, and now it will cycle more. It does take longer for certain items because of the way the minecart chests stack. So eventually we'll get a minecart chest with comparators, hoppers, and droppers. So here it is, we have droppers, hoppers, and comparators. So we can take our comparator again, put it back into the available items thing. We can pay, do whatever, and then we can send it back. And there we go. So that one had more than one item. So if we put another item that was in that chest, so let's say we do hoppers again. Well, we didn't do hoppers yet, doesn't matter. Okay, we put hoppers in the search items chest, and now we're gonna get the exact same chest that we got for the comparators. So We'll just wait a little bit. And there it is. So now we have our hoppers. So instead of 2 comparators, we have 2 hoppers over here. We can take our hopper and put it back in the available items. So basically how it works, it will find the first minecart chest that gets cycled to have that item. So you can have 2 chests with hoppers, or so you can have more storage, and it'll just pick the first one that it finds. So that's another cool thing. It's kind of like a smart search. It'll do the fastest it can do, and then we can send it back. And yeah, it gets sent back. And Nixify is here. Hello Nix. Bye bye Nix. I'm recording Nix. Can you go away? Doesn't matter. You can stay, I guess. So yeah, also another feature that this thing has is if we go over here and we put some items. So let's do a hopper, a dropper, and a comparator. And we put them all in this chest. And that will automatically sort them into the chest that has that item in it. So now if we request a comparator again, and we just put it in the search items chest, the chest will cycle through again. I keep mixing up shulker boxes with chests. It's really confusing. So yeah, we'll just wait for the chest to come back over here. So that will happen eventually. And now, as you can see, now there's another dropper, another hopper, and another comparator over here. So that's a cool thing. So if you're like the shop owner, you can just dump items. You don't have to request a specific chest and like put the items in. You can just put them in a chest and it will automatically sort through. So it's also a really compact sorting system. Like this thing has it all. It's like the best ever. Also, you may be wondering, add a minecart, what does that do? Yeah, you can add more items to this search items chest, and that's what I'll be showing now. So we have to get a minecart chest, and then we can find an item that we want. Let's see, I guess we'll do not redstone. Actually, let's do note blocks, why not? So let's put the chest down. We can't push it, so we can't like break the system. And we have to fill every single space with note blocks, so this is the least amount of items you can have, unless you like split it between 2 items. But yeah, every single slot has to be occupied so then it can search properly. And then what we have to do is we push the add minecart switch, and then we press the send back button, and that's going to make all the minecart chests cycle again. So we're just going to wait for that to happen. Oh my god, it's lagging a bit. Okay, so that is all done. So now we can unflick this, and then we can send all the minecarts back, and that will reset the system again. And we can just put our note blocks in here, and then we're done. We just added a note block minecart, and to prove that it actually works, if we search up a note block now, it will cycle through, and it's probably going to take the longest because it's the last minecart that we put in. Or it'll make, I don't know how long it'll take actually. I'm pretty sure it'll be the last one anyway, so we'll just wait a little bit. And eventually we will get a chest with note blocks. So there we go. Now we have a chest with our note blocks, and we can send that back into the system. So yeah, this thing is awesome. It's a sorting system. It's easy to use for the customers, easy to use for the people running the shop. They can find their profits really easily, they can sort their items really easily, and this thing is also super compact. I'm going to show you the redstone and you're going to be like, oh my god, it's so compact. So I'm going to go to my first plot where we have all this exposed so I can show you all the redstone. So let's go there. So this is the redstone in all of its glory. It is 7 by 6 by 5, which gives it 210 blocks in volume, so it's really tiny. So I'm just going to explain how it works and also show how it works at the same time. So when we put this hopper in the searching hopper thing, yeah, we're putting a hopper in a hopper, that totally makes sense. So yeah, we put the item in the hopper that we want to search. It will give an output to this comparator, and then that comparator will activate these observers, and that will just make its way all the way over to this section, and that's going to bounce this piston and the slime block, and all these minecarts will go bouncing up, and then this piston will push the minecart onto the rail, so one of them will bounce higher than the others, and that whole concept thing was discovered by El Mango, and that's going to go over here and into this rail over here, so it'll just go and just go like that. And every time it passes this detector rail with a comparator, that will also send a signal back to this piston bouncing thing. So it'll just make a clock, so it'll just go and go and go and go and go and go forever and ever. So now we have our item in here, so where does it go? How does it get sorted? So whenever a chest passes through this powered rail, and this hopper will check. Let's see, can this item go in an available slot? Let's see, it's filled with pistons. No, it cannot fit at all. It can't go in. So it'll just go past. And let's see another one. Let's say it's filled with redstone. No, it'll go past. It'll just fall into the hole. But let's say we get one. It has a hopper. This comparator will now turn off. And this will quickly flicker this redstone dust. So it'll go through over here. And that gives the minecart just enough time to pass. This rail will like give a short pulse. It will switch, and then the minecart will go here instead, while the rest of them just continue cycling as usual. And because this is a comparator and it will turn on and off and also still update when it's off, it's okay if it skips a minecart. So let's say this minecart goes, it turns the signal on, and then it goes over here, sends another pulse. This will go up, and it'll go in here. By the time this minecart is here, this comparator will turn off, and then it will just send another signal, and the cycle will continue. So it's okay if it skips a minecart, otherwise this thing wouldn't be possible. So we'll just see that happening. So there we go. So as you can see, that comparator is being activated like that. So it's just continuing to go and go and go. So now we have our items sorted. So how do we return our minecart chest back to the others? So let me just take these back. Okay, there we go. So now we need this to go back in here. So the way we do that, we have this button that activates this powered rail and this curved rail over here. So that will switch the curved rail, and that'll just make its way into the hole over here. And then it will be powered by this repeater, go into this block. And then there's like a long delay because this thing does doing like a weird extra pulse. And that will go into this little piston circuit. So there's a sticky piston over here. I'll just take that away. And there's another sticky piston over there. You can see it right there. And there is a powered rail under all of these minecarts. So we'll just push the powered rail onto the slime block and then retract it. So it'll just like slip the rail right under the chest. So it'll just sit there. So let's just see that happen. And there's the rail, and it just gets retracted. Now all the minecarts are back in place. They're not on a rail, so they're just like, well, they're already entities, but still, now they can be moved around by pistons and stuff. So now, what if you want to add a minecart? So right now, usually a minecart would be added like this. You have to turn this lever off. Otherwise, it will activate this piston rail thingy while the cycle is going, and then otherwise, it won't land on the rail. They'll just go everywhere. It'll explode. Stuff will happen. It just sucks. It sucks. Okay. So when we send in another chest minecart over here, it will go back into this pit as usual, but it will activate this detector rail and this comparator, and it will start the cycle again. So now all the other minecart chests are going to make their way into this little pit over here. And then once you don't hear anything, they've all gone into the hole. That's when you can activate your lever again and then press the send back button and then put them all back over here. And you just added a new minecart. And also there's one more feature that I showcased, which was like the auto sorting system thing. So here's that part over there, and that will go into these chests. So it's just a hopper line going into chests. It's really easy. So, yep, that's how it works. So, that's the mini Sahara that I have made. And because I know you people are very, very, very demanding, you want tutorials for everything. Everything has to have a tutorial. Am I gonna make a tutorial for this video? Who knows? Maybe I'll make a... Yes, I'm making a tutorial because you people are whiny. you're gonna ask for it. So yeah, it's tutorial time, and I have to suffer through many cuts of memorizing this and yada yada yada. Okay, doesn't matter, you don't want to hear me suffer anyways. Tutorial time. So this is the area you need, so 7 long, 5 wide, and 6 high. This shulker box doesn't count. The floor level is this black concrete over here. So this is the stuff you need. Obviously you need the minecart chest, but that's going to be for when we actually test the system to see if it works. So just get everything, yada 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 yada. Okay. First thing we're going to do is we're going to go 3 blocks over and then 1 down, put a sticky piston facing upwards with a slime block, and then get your wiring blocks, put a block over here, 2 tick repeater, block behind it, and we're going to put 3 blocks going up like that, and then another block on top of this block. So we're going to put a 3 tick repeater here, and we're going to get some redstone dust and put them going down like that, and we're going to put a terracotta block over here, a wool block over here, and our normal piston over there. And now we're going to make our input, so just remove this block and put an observer going over here with a block in front of it like that. And now we're going to put our returning system piston, so sticky piston over here, sticky piston over there. You might as well put the rest of your terracotta, so that's where you put it. Block, powered rail, and then just put 2 observers going like that. And then you're going to put an observer over here, and then you're going to get a hopper. And you're gonna do that, and then just quickly break it and replace it. And that's how it works. We just 4-tick it, so yeah, magic. I'll show you later, okay? Doesn't matter. So next thing, we gotta do the rails, and this is probably the most important part. So I probably should have done this first, but you should better like actually watch the tutorial before you build it. So powered rail on top, rail, and then a detector rail over here. And then a block going up like that, and a block behind. So powered rail and a detector rail. Just put a block here and a block over here. So this is the most important part. So I'm just gonna go over here and show why it's the most important part. So these are 4 setups that you might use. Only 2 of them work and 2 of them don't. So this is what it looks like. So this would be where your redstone block would be and your powered rail. So when this is off, this rail should have turned towards the powered rail, not going up onto the other thing. So this is wrong, and so is this. Your setup has to look like this. So make sure your detector rail is either facing north or it's facing east like that. And that when it is there's no power, and then when you power it, it'll actually turn to the slope going upward. So make sure you do that before you build it. Make sure you watch this whole tutorial before you build this thing, because the rails are the most important thing, and if you get them wrong, then you're screwed. So yeah, okay, it doesn't matter. Continuing with the tutorial, we're gonna put a comparator coming out of this detector rail, put an observer going like that with a block in front and a hopper, and then a observer facing downwards, a block, and then another hopper, and then an observer going here, and that's gonna activate that. So just does that magic stuff. So now we're gonna put a hopper going into this powered rail, so it should be pointing towards the powered rail like that. And then we need an observer facing downwards and an observer facing this way, and we're gonna put 3 blocks like this, and you're gonna put your button over here and put 2 pieces of redstone dust. So when you push this button, this rail should power, and this rail should switch so it goes into this hole. So there we go. So you make sure if you actually got your powered rails and your rails aligned and whatever. Okay, doesn't matter. So block under here, under this observer, piece of redstone, and then 2 more pieces of redstone over here, and then get a hopper and put 2 observers going into this hopper over here. So now I think we're almost done. All we need is the adding minecart system. So over here next to this comparator, 4-tick repeater, actually you need a slab there. So get your slab, put it here, and 4-tick repeater. You're gonna put a block in front, and then you're gonna put 2 blocks going back like this. And then you're gonna get a piece of your redstone and go like that. And you're gonna put 3 repeaters on 4 ticks going towards the right, block in front, and then 2 more repeaters on 4 ticks going over here. You're gonna put a piece of redstone and then cut it off. So this should be the whole thing. So wait, no, not the whole thing. I didn't say it's the whole thing. Nothing. No. I didn't say it. Okay. Sticky piston over here, so it will pull back this block. Get your redstone lamp. The redstone lamp is optional. I just like it because it's like really noticeable. And your lever. Now you are done. Okay. So we're going to test this with our minecarts. So let's get a minecart chest. And we're going to put it over here. And we're going to put cyan wool in this chest like that. And you don't need to unflick the lever because this is the first time we're adding minecarts. We don't really need to. So, yeah. Wait, also, I forgot another thing to do the sorter. So, you need to put a hopper pointing into this slime block over here. And then hoppers going up. And then you could put a chest. That's it. I didn't really need to add that part, to be honest. Okay, it doesn't matter. So, we're going to add a minecart. It's filled with wool. Actually, yeah, let's just flick this. Turn it off, and we push the button. It's gonna go into that hole over there. So now we have one with cyan. So let's see. Now we're gonna have one with slabs. So there we go. Make sure every slot is filled. And then push the button. It'll go in here. Okay, that's good. And is this gonna let's make this our last minecart. So we're gonna make it normal pistons. And then we're gonna add it into the system. So now let's just fill our inventory with what we have. So we have, let's see, where are pistons? We have pistons, we have a slab, and we have cyan wool. This is what we have in our chest thing right now. So let's flick this lever and then push the button one more time. And it should go over here into this section. So there we go. So now let's try sorting something. So we're going to put a slab in here and see if we did everything right. Oh, okay. I just forgot a very, very key thing over here. So put your item in. And now you want to put a comparator. Okay, there we go. It should start up now. So now we get our chest with our slab. And the other two went in there. So now we can push the button. And it will go back into the hole. And there we go. Let's try a different item. Let's try, we don't have that. We need our slabs. Okay. So now let's try pistons. So now we're going to get our chest with pistons. So there we go. Chest with pistons. See, it added over there. And we can put our, oh crap. That's not what you should do. Okay. Doesn't matter. Just take it out. And you can send it back. And it'll get all sent back. So now let's see if our item sorter works. We put our cyan wool over here. So now let's see if it went into the system. We're going to put our cyan wool in this hopper. And we're going to search for it. As you can see, now we have more cyan wool in our first slot. So yeah, that is the Sahara system thing. So a few things that you need to do if you want to like make this look prettier. So let's see. So you're gonna get your floor blocks. So I'm just gonna make this my concrete. And then this is gonna be your wall over here. So this is where my minecarts were popping up like that. So it looks like this. And then you could put like block here, you could put a block here, you could put a block here. So it looks a little neater. So that's what you saw in mine. Let's see if we could put, no, our button is there. So we can just move that over here. Can put more blocks. Okay, I think this will still work if we have blocks like that. Actually, just don't add blocks there, I guess. So now the lever and the button. So for the button input, you want to put a repeater going into these blocks. So that's what you're gonna do, and you can just link the button wherever. So I don't know. You could put it here or on the wall. Just put a repeater and then you can put the redstone wherever you want. And then for the lever, this piston has to be turned on to like by default. So if you want the lever to be off, you could just put a torch over here. Where is it? And there we go. So now it's inverted. So cool. And then you can just put a repeater going into that torch, or anything going into that torch and into the wall and whatever. And yeah, that's basically the Sahara system. So I hope you enjoyed this little tiny Sahara tutorial. And also, we're about to hit 700 subscribers, and that's like a lot. Like, I thought my channel was dead in December, but no, apparently we're not dead. So yeah, that's the Sahara thing. I hope you enjoyed. If it breaks and you complain, just go on synergyserver.net. I have the original over here and this one, and then the pretty one on my second plot. There's literally 3, and they're all the same. So if it is broken, then you probably put the rails in the wrong place, or you missed a piston, or whatever. So yeah, that's it. I hope you enjoyed. Okay, goodbye.